My name is Offbeat. I like to think I know a lot about MMA, so here's a prediction video. We got UFC Fight Night, Cannonier versus Imavov. First fight of the night, we have a loser goes home match. Let's just call it what it is. Andrea Lee versus Montana De La Rosa. Andrea Lee coming in 35 years old. And Montana De La Rosa 29, but it doesn't matter. She's simply not as good. She's not as well-rounded. She's one of those girls, Montana is, that really just likes to, I wouldn't call it lay and pray. She has heart, that's for sure. But she really needs to work on her striking. Andrea Lee had a stretch where she looked really impressive. Montana De La Rosa has never really had that kind of run. Andrea Lee, when she beat Antonina Shevchenko and Cynthia Calvillo, like, she looked good. And mind you, she fit that in between 7 losses. She's on a 4-fight losing streak now. She was on a 3-fight losing streak before she started looking good. But that Cynthia Calvillo fight, she just looked great. That's what she does to other girls that can't really strike with her. I would consider Montana De La Rosa in that same bucket. Girl that can't strike with Andrea Lee. Give me an Andrea Lee unanimous decision. Probably 30-27. She probably does it dominantly, but this is women's MMA at the end of the day. No real call on that, but I'm gonna go Andrea Lee unanimous decision. Next fight, we got a banger. Daniel Marcos, John Castañeda. God damn, the matchmakers, man, they got that shit on, man. All right, the matchmakers are feeling themselves. This is a great fight. Daniel Marcos undefeated, John Castañeda 21-6, but he's pretty good, and that's really what he is. He's a pretty good. I wouldn't call him a grinder, but he's one of those dudes that can really push the pace late in the fight. Daniel Marcos, I wouldn't really rely on him to do that. I think Daniel Marcos, his main issue, his only issue is that I just cannot trust him in the third round. In the third round, I don't know who I'm gonna get. In the third round of his Davy Grant fight, a fight that he arguably lost, I say he won. But he arguably lost. Davy Grant was given so much volume, and Marcos wasn't really doing anything. He just was kind of running away. If he does that against Castañeda, like, Castañeda is not one of those guys that gets tired at all. I think unless you're really pressuring Castañeda like that one dude did, Santos, then you're fine. Like, he's gonna be fine if you're not pressuring him. Is what I'm trying to say. If he's pressuring you around the cage, which I could easily see happen, especially in that third round, then Marcos is going to have some serious issues. And that fight that did not count against Arichi Lang, the no contest, that's the best we've ever seen Marcos, right? Like, I know he's undefeated. I know he beat Davy Grant. He didn't look the way he did against Arichi Lang. And I know he's not that good or as good as somebody like Davy Grant on paper, but man, Marcos just looked great, man. I think Marcos wins the first 2 rounds against Castañeda and then loses the third 29-28, but they're probably going to be calling it easy. Probably going to be calling it an easy 29-28, man. But I like John Castañeda as well. He's someone that's going to go out there and fight, you know. He's going to go fight, but Marcos ain't no bitch. I think he wins the first 2. Probably a unanimous decision here, maybe a split, but I like Marcos. Next fight, Charles Radtke, Carlos Prates. This is such an interesting fight. It's at welterweight. Radtke doesn't suck. Radtke does not suck. I wanted to play Prates, or pick Prates, just because, like, he's long and lanky. Like, I like that archetype of fighter. But Radtke, after seeing Radtke's tapes, I'm like, bro, this dude, he's a fighter, bro. He's got a mean left hook. He obviously hits hard. He never stops fighting. And that's the thing with Prates, is it takes him a little while to start fighting. Prates made Trevin Giles look good. Trevin Giles became the favorite live in the fight with Prates. And he's chinless. Radtke has a chin. Radtke's been wobbled, but he has a chin, unlike Trevin Giles. So Prates made the chinless man the favorite. in the first round, and that's scary, bro, because Prates has so much potential. There's not a lot of weaknesses in this dude's game. There's just not. He's got the length. He's got the power. Like, he clearly hits hard because he's putting dudes away. You know, not just Giles, but like a lot of people, bro. He put Mitch Ramirez away on Contender Series, and Mitch ain't that good, but still, you got to be a guy like Giles, I think, to give Prates trouble. Just quick. Giles is pretty quick. I wouldn't call him explosive, but he's quick. He's agile. He moves a lot. And Prates likes to be the guy that moves. Radtke's not really going to be that guy. I think Radtke's going to be in your face. He's going to be throwing punches. But even still, bro, Prates is just that good. Prates is that good. Seriously. Radtke, he's not going to quit. He's going to bring it. But, man, I find it hard to see, or not to see, Prates catching Radtke with a kick. Those kicks come up so quick. They come up lightning quick, bro. I just feel like he catches them head kick. Since he is a slow starter, I would say head kick second round for Prates. But Radtke ain't no bitch, bro. He's going to fight. Like, he's a fighter's fighter. It's just Prates is levels. All right, next fight. We got lightweights. Thiago Moisés versus Ľudovít Klein. And this, again, the matchmakers doing that dirty work. They're filthy. This is a banger, bro. This is a banger. Moisés is always going to be in the mix, right? Tapology says he's number 21 right now, lightweight in the world. He's always going to be in that mix. Not top 15, but like, you know, I don't suck. He's going to be in the I don't suck territory his whole career. That's just who he is. He could win any night. He could lose any night. And Ľudovít Klein, I think he used to be in that category, and now he's kind of ascended. He elevated ever since he moved up to lightweight. I think that weight cut was really hurting him. But as far as his fight plays out, Ľudovít is strong, bro. So we all know Moisés is going to be going for takedowns. The main thing I was looking for when I was watching tape is Ľudovít strong as hell? Because if he is, then I'm picking him every time. Let me tell you, he's strong as hell. All right. His takedown defense, A1. It's A1, bro. We're talking top tier takedown defense with a dude that can strike. Right. So it's staying on the feet. I don't see Moisés taking it to the ground. If Moisés wants to clinch, Ľudovít is strong as hell. He's always winning the clinch position battles at lightweight. Like he will hold you there. He will hold you there. If you can't move, that's on you. And he throws some good elbows. I wish he threw more elbows on the break. But shit, it's cool. He throws enough to beat Moisés. I think the kicks are really gonna annoy Moisés. He might try to catch him. Again, it won't matter because the takedown defense of Ľudovít is so superior to anything I think that Moisés has seen outside of like maybe Bobby Green. But yeah, I see Moisés going down. Just as far as trajectory goes, I just see Moisés as someone that's not really elevating, and Ľudovít Klein is on the uptrend, and he's a better striker. If Moisés could strike a little bit more, I'd pick Moisés. That's how close this fight is. But when you're missing a whole skill, or when you're just completely outclassed like that, I gotta go Ľudovít Klein, and I'm gonna say easy 30-27, and I mean easy. If not a knockout. So that's what I got for that. We're going on to the next one. All right, Brad Katona versus Jesse Butler. This is probably going to end up being a typical Brad Katona fight. This dude, Jesse Butler, straight up, he is a jiu-jitsu dude, a guard puller that strikes way more than he should. Okay? And getting some finishes on the regional scene will do that to a guy, man. They'll have a jiu-jitsu dude thinking he's a boxer. That's what the regional scene does. All right. And that's also what gets you knocked out in 23 seconds by Jim Miller. I know he was up a weight class, but yeah, the guy just, once you see a dude pulling guard, just run the other way. I won't say never, but a guard puller in the UFC is just kind of like, I'm good. whatever. Anyway, Brad Katona, typical Brad Katona fight. I think Brad Katona likes to get on the inside quite a bit. So I don't really see how Jesse Butler, his length is going to work. He does have like a 9-inch reach advantage according to Tapology. But it's hard for me to see Brad Katona getting caught with anything, sub or knockout. I just see Brad Katona, he could take him down if he wants to, and Jesse Butler will go down willfully, right? Because that's what he does. And if Brad Katona just wants to get on the inside and hit him, wants to get in the clinch, just win the point fight like Brad Katona does, he could do that. So I'm gonna go 30-27. This might be the last we see of Jesse Butler. Next fight, Cody Stamann, Taylor Lapilus. This fight is interesting. I don't love the fight from an entertainment perspective. It could be boring as hell, right? Because we're talking about Cody Stamann, a dude that I think he believes his wrestling is better than it is. And for everybody listening to this, I just don't want y'all to be fooled by that. He's not, maybe it's because of his build, like 5'6", 64-inch reach. He's not a striking threat. So all he really has is the wrestling. And when you know that going into some shit, it's kind of easy to deal with. Taylor Lapilus deals with wrestlers all the time because he's a freak. 5'6", 73-inch reach. I don't know. Maybe he can dunk a basketball. Like how are his arms that long with his body? Yeah. But yeah, this dude is a pop shotter. He's in and out pretty much constantly. Doesn't really get finishes. I don't see this one being a finish either, but I do see it being probably like a split decision. Cody Stamann will go for a lot of takedowns. Taylor Lapilus will defend takedowns, but his whole thing is he kind of only does one thing or the other. He's not really attacking when he's defending takedowns. He's just not getting taken down. And shit like that can lose you the fight in some judges' eyes. So honestly, I gotta go with Lapilus, but I think it'll be a split decision. I'm not really messing with the odds or anything like that, but I believe Lapilus ekes out a close one. Stamann holding on, getting like takedowns that aren't really takedowns, where Lapilus pops back up, but his back's still against the cage. Y'all know the type of shit I'm talking about, bro. So I honestly see it being that type of a fight. Taylor Lapilus split decision, and we can go to the next one. The card is getting worse as we go up. I don't understand. I don't understand how it's getting. How are you bottom heavy? This is a bottom heavy ass card. Okay. Puja Tomar versus Rayanne Amanda. I'm not the biggest. I don't have the biggest. I can't really work out women's MMA. All right, I do feel like anything could happen in there at any given moment. It's almost a different sport. So what I like to do is I like to pick the woman that actually brings the fight. Like, who's in there trying to fight? Like, not who's in there trying to not get knocked out, or who's in there trying to be pretty. Who's in there trying to fight? You know? And on any given day, it could be either one. It doesn't matter. Favorite, not favorite, huge favorite. It doesn't matter, bro. This is the game you're playing when you do women's MMA. For me, after watching very minimal tape on this, just giving you a heads up, I'm not gonna waste your time. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Amanda, but I'm rooting for Puja. Yeah, that's gonna be my pick. Like I said, not gonna waste your time on this. I'm going Rayanne Amanda by somehow. Let's just say decision. Next up, Eduarda Moura, Denise Gomes. The thing about this Denise Gomes girl is, I remember I was hyping up Jasmine Uruguay just so hard. Like, yo, this Jasmine Uruguay girl, she's so good. She's so good. Denise knocks her out in 20 seconds, right? That's the shit I'm talking about with women's MMA. It doesn't make sense. 1 + 1 = 111. Okay? Doesn't make sense. Angela, and then she loses to Angela Hill after that. So it's like, all right, bro, I'm going to just stay away from shit like this. Anyway, Eduarda Moura she just brings it. She brings it. I like that. I told you, when it comes to women's MMA, I'm picking the person that's in there trying to fight, and she has a ton of finishes. She looks good on the feet. good on the ground, but I haven't done extensive tape. I'm not going to waste your time or mine. I'm picking the undefeated girl that I believe wants to bring the fight. All right, here we go. Main card. It's getting good again. No disrespect to the ladies. I just don't understand why those fights are higher than some of the other ones. Raul Rosas Jr. versus Ricky Turcios. All right. So what this is going to be probably the most spastic fight we've seen in years. This is going to be so ridiculously stupid. People think Raul Rosas Jr. is like maybe gonna dominate Turcios. I remember last time they made this fight, because this is their second time booking this. Raul Rosas got sick day of the fight, couldn't perform. But Raul Rosas was a huge favorite, and I'm just thinking like, bro, do they know? Like, set aside the fact that he's a kid. Ricky Turcios does throw a lot of volume. It's sloppy volume, bro. It's sloppy volume, but he throws it out there. It doesn't get him wins all the time, but it's just the fact that he's doing something for all 3 rounds. I know it looks stupid, but he's always fighting you, if that makes sense. Raul Rosas Jr. is pretty much the same, except he is faster. I think he hits harder, but his technique, believe it or not, is probably worse than Turcios the later the fight goes. I never thought I'd see someone with worse technique than Turcios, but when it comes to the striking, Raul Rosas Jr., the kid, his technique might be worse as he gets tired. But there's only one person in this fight that has the trump card, and that's the trump card on the ground, Raul Rosas Jr. He can take Turcios down and control him. These dudes that I call them swimmers, right? Because they're on the ground, you're drowning, and they're swimming, right? Obviously. He's one of those swimmer guys where I'm always one step ahead of you. Who else is like that? Pat Sabatini is like that. He's one of those swimmers. If he's on top, he's swimming on you. Sean Brady is like that. You're getting swam on. So I think I'm going to go ahead and give the edge in my pick to Raul Rosas Jr. I think second round sub sounds right. If not a first round TKO. It depends on how quickly he can get Turcios in a bad spot. But as soon as Turcios is in that bad spot, I see Turcios just being reckless, bro. Like I said, spastic as fuck. Just trying to get out of something, worrying about the now. Like, he's got my back. Let me get up. All right, now you're in a worse spot. Now you're mounted, okay? Or vice versa. He's mounted, gives his back, gets punched out or subbed. So first or second round finish for Raul Rosas Jr. Could be TKO, could be sub. Depends on how the kid's feeling that day. Let's go to the next one though. Punahele Soriano versus Miguel Baeza. Man, where has Miguel Baeza been? I like this dude. When he first came out, he's a slick striker. He just looks like he's supposed to be good. And he is. I mean, until he gets caught. If you hit him, it's basically a wrap. His chin is it's almost non-existent. So you'll find him beating Ponzinibbio and then getting hit with a shot, and then just losing a decision because he looks like he can't take the punches, but Ponzinibbio can. Beating Chaos Williams, then getting hit with a shot in the third. The only dude I know that's gotten knocked out by Andre Fialho, that's a free win if you're in the UFC. That's a free highlight for you. That's the layup that the UFC is giving you, and he couldn't capitalize on it. And if you're thinking about picking Baeza, that's got to be scary, bro. That's got to be scary to know that all it takes is one punch. He could be winning the entire fight, and then all it takes is one punch. Punahele Soriano has that ability to give that punch. He has that left hand that he throws. It's so predictable. I could see it coming and dodge it. I don't fight. Miguel Baeza could see it coming in and dodge it 5 times. But on the 6th time, bro, he literally could just be like, I'm done. My chin is done. And that's why I can't pick Baeza. I see him to be the better fighter as far as technique goes. He has kicks. We've seen Punahele Soriano get hurt with the kicks in his last fight with Roman Kopylov, or one of his fights with Roman Kopylov. I can't trust the chinless dude. I don't care if you look like the best fighter in the world, bro. It's just, if you have no chin, I can't pick you. And he's taking a long ass layoff too. He hasn't fought in 2 years, over 2 years. So he has been grappling. That's cool. But Soriano, career on the line. This is also a loser goes home match. I think that's what they're using this card for, just to send the losers home. And damn, it's gonna suck to see Miguel Baeza go, but I think he probably gets caught in the first round. That's Punahele's best chance to catch him. And even if Miguel survives the first round, it could happen at any moment in the fight. So I have to pick Punahele with his predictable left punch. Give me first round KO. Going to the next one. Banger. Brunno Ferreira versus Dustin Stoltzfus. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of this Dustin Stoltzfus dude. I used to be. I used to think he had potential, and then you go and you lose to Kyle Dawkins, and that really upset me. That upset me on a different level. Just like I had high hopes for the dude. But anyway, losses to Kyle Dawkins, Gerald Mearshart in 2021, Abu Smagomedov in 19 seconds, and your only wins in the UFC are, get this, Dwight Grant and Punahele Soriano, who gassed. And bro, come on, that's not gonna cut it. I don't trust this dude. I don't trust him to be able to take Brunno Ferreira down. The thing about Brunno is he's very, very strong, like the Hulk, right? I think that's his nickname. He's very strong, and he hits hard on the ground. He gets up. There's been times Gregory Rodriguez had him down for a sec. He worked his way back up. He's patient. The only thing about him is it seems like he needs the knockout early. And if Dustin Stoltzfus can kind of find a way to drag this shit, then I could see Brunno getting tired. We don't really know with Brunno, because has Brunno even been to a third round? I don't believe he has. Brunno's never even been to the third round. So it's a little bit unpredictable. But we know who Dustin Stoltzfus is. We know he's the type of guy to get caught between the first and the second. Shit, you could catch him in 19 seconds. It doesn't take much. All he had to do was get past 4 minutes with Abu Smagomedov. He couldn't do it. So I've seen the proof in the pudding. It doesn't matter if you're a gasser. All you got to do is hit him. You know, he might just go down. So I can't pick Dustin here. I got to go Brunno. Shorter arms, but packs a lot of punch. And again, I'm the type of picker. I like these dudes that bring the fight. He's fighting you in there, bro. He's fighting you in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with Brunno Ferreira, first round KO, and we can go to the next one. Julian Marquez versus Zach Reese. They got to be changing the order of this fight card, bro. This should be the first fight of the card. I get that it's exciting, but Zach Reese got beat by Cody Brundage. I was there live actually in Austin, Texas, and he got slam KO'd by Cody Brundage. Now, the only thing worse than losing to Cody Brundage for us and people that actually picked him is that we still have not seen him out of the first round. We don't really know what happens when this guy in his professional career, when it goes out of the first. We still don't. So not only did he rob himself by getting KO'd in 1 minute by 1 minute slam to Cody Brundage and kind of just like kill any hype that he had coming in, but he also messed it up for us, where we're trying to predict his tendencies and we don't even get to see him because he's getting slam KO by Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage is a bum. And that's what scares me, because it doesn't matter that Julian Marquez is getting older. It doesn't matter that he's 9-4 and you know can be beaten by guys like Marc-Andre Barrios. It doesn't matter, right? Because Zach Reese can't be trusted. Okay, so I know this is a very close fight. I know that for a fact, but what I don't know is what happens in the second round with Zach Reese. I know that Marquez is going to be there, So Marquez is never really going to give up on himself. I don't know that Zach Reese has that in him. You know, it's just something we don't know. So skill for skill, let's just say nobody gets tired. I'm picking Reese. I pick Reese. I think he's longer. Well, I know that he's longer, and I know he uses his reach well. And I've never really been that big of a fan of Julian Marquez. He's cool. His fight style's cool. I just not someone that I want to be backing as far as picks go. You know, so I trust the unknown in this situation. Zach Reese probably gets the dub here. I can't really say how. If it doesn't happen in the first, will it go to decision? I don't know. Best bet probably will be the under. Take the under here if you're a betting man, and just go from there. Because both of them are going to be fighting, that's for sure. Zach Reese hits pretty hard. Julian Marquez has shown in the past that he can't really take the punches. This is probably a loser goes home match as well. I don't think you can get slam KO'd by Cody Brundage and then lose to Julian Marquez in a fight that they want you to win. The UFC has matched Zach Reese perfectly. They want him to win. They want him to beat Cody Brundage. He loses. They want him to beat Julian Marquez. He cannot lose again, or they're going to say, you don't do what we want you to do. You got to go. You know? So that's what I'm going to say. I'll go ahead and go Zach Reese. I don't truly know how, but if I had to say, I go early second round KO. Julian Marquez will get tired too. That's the one thing that we could say. He gasses a bit as well, so maybe Zach Reese can keep up. Catch a KO. We got the co-main event now. Dominic Reyes, Dustin Jacoby. Yes. High level striking. A lot of people gave up on Dominic Reyes. I'm not one of those people. I think they matched him up poorly. I think when you put this dude against big hitters, he gets hit big. Ryan Spann, Yuri Prochazka, Jan Blachowicz. That's iffy, but he got knocked out. He got caught. The thing about those guys, they all hit hard. Dustin Jacoby, maybe he's a good kickboxer. Maybe he's technical, but he doesn't hit that hard. So I'm kind of okay with picking my boy Reyes in this matchup. I think Reyes gets back to his winning ways. He has been out for a couple years. That could be for chin purposes. He withdrew from the fight with Olberg, and that was probably the best call of his career, because that could have been a career ender. You don't want to fight a guy like Olberg when you need a dub. You don't want to go on a 5-fight losing streak. Don't fight Olberg. Fight a guy like Jacoby, who you have a longer reach than, who doesn't really knock people out the way that these other guys have. You know, he's one of those Factory X guys. He's going to move around, try to win the fight. That's what he's going to do. He's not going to try to hurt you. He's going to try to win the fight. And that's what you want if you're Reyes. I think Reyes can withstand that, though. Reyes can go a hard 2 rounds. You know, I think he can go a hard 2. I think he wins the first 2 rounds, and I think that Jacoby will probably win the third. Hopefully, it's not a 10-8, because I don't want to see a draw, but I could definitely see that happening as well. I think Reyes wins the first 2 clearly. So at the very least, it'll be a 29-28. Dustin Jacoby doesn't really get knocked out, so he has a good chin. I'm gonna go 29-28, Dominic Reyes, and that'll be the pick. Dominic Reyes back to his winning ways. Let's go. All right, main event: Imavov Cannonier. What can we say about this one? A lot of people highlighting the fact that Cannonier is 40 years old. He's 40 years old. Imavov 28, so that's a 12-year age gap. And for the people that made it this far in the video, I'll give you a little tip. When it comes to the age, the 35 and under rule is floating around like, oh, no one over 35, blah blah blah, right? Whatever the rule is, 35 is not the age. 37 is actually when they're done. 35 is still very young. You're still able to do everything that you were doing before. Right? You might do it slightly slower. 37, that's when the drop off is real. All right, so that's just a heads up to the people out there that made it this far into the video. Cannonier is 40, so 3 years over what I would consider my threshold. The thing about Cannonier being 40 is he strikes me as the type of dude that doesn't give a fuck that he's 40. He strikes me as the type of dude that will try and prove you wrong. All right. Do you really think a man that carries around crystals and believes that they give him powers isn't going to try and prove the doubters wrong at 40? If anything, this just motivated him even more, bro. I think, spoiler alert, Cannonier, I believe he wins this fight. He has a gas tank. And I'm talking like highly crystal motivated Cannonier. He has a gas tank. He's going to be able to go all 5. Imavov, historically, unable to do that. All right. And when he does do it, he just looks bad. Imavov is a 2-round fighter. He almost let Buckley come back and beat him in the 3rd. So just he gets less technical, less clean, and that's the only thing that really separates him is his cleanliness in the fight. He's super technical. He doesn't really get hit. His name is the Russian Sniper. No one calls themselves the Sniper if they like getting hit. Okay, he doesn't like getting hit. He's the Russian Sniper. Cannonier is gonna be in his fucking face, bro. All right, he's gonna be in his face. Crystal Cannonier, 40 years old, 41, it wouldn't matter. Cannonier has a different type of drive. He's gonna bring it. He's got the longer reach. He's got the better cardio. And man, when you put a dude like Cannonier in there, like a crazy ass dude with a lot to prove, it's just a recipe for disaster with Imavov. You don't want to be in there. You don't want to be gassed in front of Cannonier. You know, so I gotta go Cannonier. I think he gets a unanimous decision. It might be 49, bro. It might be 49, 46. Because Cannonier can win one of the first 2 rounds too. He probably loses the first, kind of like he did with Vittori. Maybe he has some close calls in there, and then just goes on a tear where he's just consistently there. I'm consistently in your face. And yeah, man, that's going to be my pick, actually. Cannonier winning 4 rounds against Imavov. Imavov has to question what he does next. The UFC probably throws him in there with a killer afterwards. And then Cannonier can keep grinding, keep moving up. Shit, they might give Cannonier Strickland again. Even though I think if you beat Imavov in the main event, bro, at 40 years old, let that man get the title shot, bro. Let that man fight Dricus. But shit, that's going to be it for the video, man. You made it this far. Go ahead and leave me a like. Go ahead and sub. It's going to be a good night of fights. Top to bottom, okay card. I'm going to rate it like a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10, to be honest. So I like the card. Hopefully y'all enjoy it. I'll catch you on the next one.